Okay, ready?
She's bringing us to order.
All right, roll call.
Beckwith.
Here.
Caldwell.
Here.
Farkapeezy.
Here.
Ketman.
Here.
Kotsinas.
Here.
Linstow.
Here.
Sutton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. Okay, so I have to say, when we were moving public comment, I goofed up, and when I moved it in the bylaws, I didn't realize that we couldn't really move, well, when I moved it in the bylaws, I moved the whole thing, which is correspondence, communication, and public comments. And if you would all like it differently, I can change it, but not for tonight. So, do we have correspondence? Communications? Okay. Is there any public comment? All right. Sorry about that. So you'll let me know if you want me to change it, please. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like about this.
You're good with this?
Somebody
I'm
might
okay
comment
with
to
it.
us by letter just as easily as in person.
Well, this is a point. Okay, great. I'll leave it then.
Although I would prefer it to be public comments, correspondence, communication.
Is that a typo? I'll check on that.
No, just so public comments
Comes
comes first.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh,
Reorder.
sure, we could do that. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so can we have a motion on the consent? First, anyone want to take anything off? Anyone like to make a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain. Okay. Let's see, President's Report, page 11. Questions, comments? Okay, anyone else have a report?
Just that I really enjoyed watching the library march and the 30 Days Parade. You all did a very good job.
Thanks, Josh.
So sorry to.
I told Sunimi that used up all my extrovert points for about 2 weeks. It's fun, but it's exhausting. Okay, anybody else? Okay, reports of committees, page 13. Comments, questions? Nothing? Okay. Okay, Ryan.
So what's not in the director's report is that we are the 2017 Gurney Days Rib Eating Champions.
Oh, no way! Rib eating
Thanks to Eddie Christina and Mark McDermott.
That's hilarious.
So
2 pounds, 12 ounces, 2.12 was left.
yeah, they did.
I was
amazing.
there.
Yeah.
There's pictures on his table, too.
Oh, my goodness.
They competed last year. What did they come in last year?
I don't remember. It was a sixth or something like
Oh, I
that.
thought it was
And how many
higher than
minutes?
Fourth or
Two
fifth? Yeah.
minutes.
It
2
was.
minutes and they ate how much?
Okay, I know what was there.
It's
So-
four.
For a total of 4 pounds, there was an aluminum pan. There was 1 pound of barbecue sauce. My son competed for the public works. It was barbecue sauce. It wasn't watered down barbecue sauce. It was
thick
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 barbecue
gooey stuff.
sauce.
Mhm.
He drank it all. I think, was it Eric who drank all of our sauce?
Oh,
One of them drank the sauce, and
No,
then
Eddie.
the rest
Mark
Me.
or
was.
Eddie was like scooping it like he was a
Eddie
grizzly
and
bear
Mark.
in a honey pot or something.
And then there were the ribs. The rest of the weight was made up by the ribs, and Mark and Eddie cleaned their rib bones clean. So the fire department was talking some smack. And-
But it was within .04 ounces.
Yeah, we
And
Oh,
We
when they
etched it.
introduced the library, people even had the nerve to laugh a little bit, like,
the
oh,
library people couldn't eat
That's
it.
right. We were very disrespectful.
Oh,
But
so
we
they
showed
showed
them. We showed them.
stereotyping.
We
There
showed
you
them.
go.
And my
So-
son tells me that the
That's hilarious.
village of Gurney, was talking smack to Public Works. They said, oh, couldn't any of the full-timers show up? Because they're full-time for the summer, but not benefits. And they responded by, they don't want heart attacks.
Yeah, let the young guys do it.
But they did us proud.
Yeah, that was great.
It was fun.
Wonderful.
But other than that kind of fun note, Gurney Days was great. We did, as George pointed out, we had a great turnout for the parade. Several staff members, Joe and Andrea marched with us. Sue Nemi, Brian Nemi, and his friends rode their motorcycles, including Steve Carlson.
Oh,
There's the-
oh my goodness, no kidding?
Wow. Is there a name on it?
And
already?
you're really
Yeah.
We took it before they even did it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like the piggy.
It's gonna be like this Stanley's Cup. They're gonna have to add
I
lights.
am in awe. I'm totally, we have to have a pedestal now.
This is big
Oh,
wrecking rights.
Oh,
It's big
my
night to get the board
gosh.
picture
Wait,
for the
can we
website,
send
updated
this
board
to
picture.
everyone else at our house?
Jeremy.
Yeah, kind of like the Hawks take the trophy home with
Pictures on
them.
his table.
Like the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup, aren't you supposed to kiss
That's
it?
right, the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup, right. Oh, my
So-
God.
Although you actually get to kiss the
Kiss
cup,
the-
yeah, the Stanley Cup, not this, you know,
Yes,
no
I don't wanna kiss
plexiglass
this.
Kiss the
and ball.
pig. Oh, my
Well, we can take that off, but you don't want to kiss this anymore.
Hilarious.
And where is that displayed?
Yes.
It'll be in the staff lounge usually, but sometimes.
For a
we
year.
pull it out for other.
Oh, we have to put
Why
it
don't we
on
put it
public
under, like when you
display.
first walk in under Warren Newport?
Like, yay, rah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
my
should.
gosh.
We gotta have every other competitor see it as
You
they
know
walk
we
in
have
the
a
door.
talented staff.
Definitely the highlight of my week.
Did they go into training like you do for a marathon, not eat
For the,
There's technique to it. Yeah, they.
There is?
They were stretching their stomachs.
Sort of
Oh,
drinking
okay,
water and
okay.
watching videos of the
No.
world champions. I'm not kidding. We do our research, Kathleen. We're
that's right,
librarians.
that is.
We're library.
Well, it's the second time we've won
But
it.
it took almost 7 years to win it the first time.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, my goodness.
I'm so
I
proud.
am in
Yes,
awe.
yeah.
I am such an awe.
Okay, does
That's what I see
anyone have any other questions
Real
or
questions
comments
for-
on the director's report?
Well, I do have a question.
Sure.
Is it, outside of the OMA, if we, proclaimed a day to recognize, just Mark and Eddie?
Yeah.
We could put in the minutes that
Could we
you
put in
recognize
a
their
little-
tremendous
Something,
efforts.
something
buy a little-
official.
But if you want to do it,
Okay.
if you want to do a resolution, that would have to go on the next agenda, Andrea.
Well, I would like to put it on the next
She already has some
agenda.
writing to do, so she'll just add that on.
I'll ad-lib it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, can we put a resolution on? To recognize them as an official?
If you're gonna write one, sure.
Okay, I'll write one.
Okay, go for it.
I'll be writing it tonight before I leave.
Okay, good.
That's the way Joe likes things done now.
Now. Or
But
yesterday.
there's only one time for Joe, now.
Okay, is there
All right,
anything else on the
clicker.
director's report?
Get back to business.
This is too much laughing, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, unfinished business. So, I want to show everybody, I have worked and worked and worked and worked on the board knowledge project since our last meeting. So, I did two kinds of things. One was that I went into the cabinet, the locked board cabinet, and there are two kinds of documents in there. And this binder here has to do with our board self-evaluation, which for new people, we do at the beginning of the year. And then we set our goals for the year, so we'll be doing that again in February. Is that about right? I think we appoint in January and we get it done February and March and we decide on our goals. So I just want to talk generally about what's in here. I made this binder when I first started doing it. There were some surveys and other spotty materials from prior board self-evaluations. And then there's things in here for a new president to read about the subject of how to evaluate the director. So I went through and I made sure that everything in here had attribution. I got most of it from library websites, United for Libraries, ALA, Kane Consulting is another one, and so on. And then all of the documents that I made for board self-evaluation, and Sue did a lot, and George did some compilations of survey results and survey comments. Those from the last 2 years are on this flash drive. and it's in the cabinet, okay? That's one. Next are these two binders. These have to do with evaluating the executive director. So I'm gonna talk generally, oh, you know what, I should pass this around. I'm gonna talk generally about this binder, but that is not super confidential. It could probably go here, but just for safekeeping, it's in the cabinet.
Makes sense.
This is confidential, though. So I'm gonna talk generally about it, and if you wanna ask me specific questions about it later, you can. So this first binder is the same thing, things for a president to read about how to evaluate the director. And I went through this and added attribution. There's no electronic files with this. I'll pass that around. Okay,
When is that evaluation done?
it's done in the
Yearly as
fall,
well? Oh,
and
okay.
it's finished before December, so that if there's, whatever pay changes there are effective January 1st.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a binder that has to do with, that has the materials for actually evaluating directors. So there's 2 evaluations in here for Ryan that I was in charge of. And there was spotty documentation for what was done before. But I based mine upon, there was, a survey here, an evaluation there, a change of salary memo there, what's the other thing? An acknowledgement, there's a form where the president and the executive director sign that the evaluation was done and that he or she received a copy of it, and the board met with the person and so on. There's also survey instrument and results of the survey, one done by George and one done by hand by Sue Nemi last year. The only document that I've added to that is, I like to give Ryan and the board a timeline that sort of lays out our goals for when we're gonna do our survey, how long we have to fill it out, how long we have to compile it, when we wanna see Ryan's self-evaluation, when we'll have executive sessions to discuss the evaluation, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, here's a flash drive in here with all the documents that I have. I have no electronic documents for anything before I did it. But they're all here, whatever is here, for Ryan and for Steve. I don't think there's anything earlier than that. I kind of wrestled with the fact that I wasn't really sure if I wanted to put all these documents on this flash drive. And I finally had to admit that I was,
Remembering others.
yes, I was being driven by some bad things that have happened in the past, and I decided to err on the side of putting everything in here. The idea being that if someone wanted to use my document for a format or for a starting point or use the survey or whatever, call up the acknowledgement form, change the names and dates. That's the purpose of this, is to make the job easier for the next person. So that's all in here also. Pass that one. Okay, then the next thing I did was, I called up all the documents that I had sent when George asked us all to send what we had, and I sent him a slew of things. And so I called up all the documents based upon what we decided at Committee of the Whole last time, which was that we were going to target the documents to the person who used them as much as possible, and that we would do this flash drive kind of system with the paper binder as well, give it to the person, and then ask that person to keep it up, change it, supplement it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I have 3 of those. This one is for the secretary, and what I did was we agreed that we would use George's template. So what I did was I called up his template, and, I'm sorry.
That's good.
Bonnie and I had a conversation over whether the documents would be most useful if the template and the document were separated or if they were together, and we decided I would put them together. So here's the template with the information that George asked for, and here's the document that I have that comes after it, okay? So I'm gonna pass this around. Maybe you can each share a couple. Here's one for the policy chair. Same thing, the flash drive for the policy chair is in here.
I know that one.
And here's one that I did for the president. Okay, so maybe pass that around, a couple people can look at it. So now, take a couple minutes to look at it, then I want to ask you for some feedback.
I'm in awe, that's all I want to say right now. I'm
How'd you
in awe.
have time for this?
It took a lot of time,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of time.
Crazy.
Well, speaking for myself, I'm eternally grateful because I felt that I was being given a task to write how to do something I did not know how to do.
Yeah.
And I started, and when I look at what you've done and I look at mine, I'm putting mine under the table. But I really appreciate the work that went into that. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
I totally.
Okay, so, has everyone had a chance to kind of look at it enough, or you want another minute?
It's beautiful. Can I see the policy one? Thank you.
Okay, so I want it,
It's incredible, huh?
It's a great job.
oh, thank you. That's, I have already did that a long time ago.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so now I want to ask you for some feedback, if you wouldn't mind. One is, who else has any documents? Did anyone else send anything to George that is not in here? Okay. Next is,
I didn't finish mine.
I couldn't honestly think of anything. I have no documents, and I couldn't think of any need to create a B and G binder. Do you disagree?
No, I don't.
Okay. fine. I do think we could use a finance binder.
We definitely.
But
could
I
use
am
it.
not capable of doing that. I am capable of helping you, but I cannot do it. So perhaps we could meet offline and talk about that.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, I would love to meet with you
Okay.
anytime, anywhere.
Next is the template. So
Is what?
The template.
the template. The template worked really well for me when I had a normal document that was just text. But if I had a document that was formatted at all, like just for example, a board policy is an example of this. So I would put the template on, and then I would attach the policy after that. And guess what happens? With continuous pagination and a footer, it all goes onto the template. So one day I spent about an hour Googling it and trying to figure out how to fix it, and I was able to fix it most of the time, but not reliably. And then today, Kathleen, when we talked about those cards, I tried to attach that, and it was not good.
Okay.
So I guess I'm saying, okay, so here's my solution. If you look in the front of every binder, there's a table of contents. And what I would like to propose that we do instead of the template, the part that's the really important that George put in the template, in my opinion, is the part where, what is it called? Is it just a description? So what I think we should do instead that will make the technology easier is replace the table of contents that I made that's a list with the table of contents that you see in the front pocket that's annotated. And what I did with that was I took the description from all the templates and I put it into a table of contents so the person getting the binder can look at it and say, okay, I need something for blah, 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 and you'll see all the descriptions, and then
I, for one, that's a much, for me, that would be like a golden.
Okay.
having
Is
to
that
page
okay
through
with
and look through
everybody?
everything.
I think particularly when there
So
are new
great.
members coming on and they don't know
This is what I'm saying,
what
it's
committee
all
of the
right
whole
here.
report
Yeah.
form means.
Okay, so I will fix that. I'll change
That's
that, and I'll
really
take the
great.
templates out. It's less to print, less paper.
Yeah.
But it keeps the most
Concise.
important part of George's idea, I think, which is to help the person use the document
Right.
we're giving them.
I
Okay,
like this.
I will
one.
do that.
Yep.
So George, we were gonna meet about the stuff in the board cabinet. We don't need to do that now, right? Okay. And next is,
One quick suggestion.
Please.
Putting these together. If you happen to have a copy of Acrobat,
I don't,
okay.
I just have Reader, sorry.
You can print out the two and combine them. And
Yeah.
keep pagination.
That doesn't surprise me, but I don't have that. Another document that I want to write, George, after the last committee of the whole, Kathleen and I had a conversation in which we both said how great your answer was to her question when she said, what do I look for when I edit?
And I'll
And-
have that for you written out at our next committee. of the whole.
Okay, because if you want to just recap it when we're done here, I'll be happy to take notes.
I have to remember what it
Okay.
is that I said, so I'll have
All right,
to
I will
write
look
it
for
down.
that then. And then, one last thing, which is, what do you think about whether we need anything like this that would be something general to just give every new trustee?
What do you mean exactly, Joan?
Well,
Just a handbook of what a
yeah, like
secretary
if there's
does, what the
any
policies are.
documents in here, or what I think would be cool would be if, George probably knows how to do this and I have no idea, but if we could take what you're saying about the financial statements, okay? And if we could do like 2 screen captures and then put notes on there for what you said about the variance report. That would be a document that might be a nice one for a new trustee, every new trustee to have.
Yeah.
And it could go in the finance binder too.
Mm-hmm.
Just those kinds of things. So if you think of general things that you think a person might want coming on, then I could work on that too. But I don't know exactly what they would be. And also I want to say that I think that's kind of why we have the extranet. That's where the general stuff is living, so I don't want to duplicate what's already on the extranet. So maybe if you could think about that for next committee of the whole, I'll ask you about that again, and then we can figure out how to get the last pieces of it done. Other feedback?
I'm in awe.
Yeah.
It is very good, very
Thank you very
wonderful.
much.
Again, as somebody who came on new, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
Thanks. Okay,
Yeah, I
all right,
appreciate
thank you very much. Very, very nice to get the compliments, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
One thing I'll throw out there.
please.
If anyone thinks it would be valuable, we could potentially add not only just a document, flat document with highlighted sections, but you could produce a voiceover of that document.
Why? Just a question.
Because you
Sorry.
can.
Because you can, yeah.
I'm laughing at your use of the word you.
You could.
I could.
One could.
One could.
With
One could, no. Or
someone
George
who has a
could.
better dictating voice than I do could provide the voiceover and I could assemble it properly. That's another story, never mind.
Okay,
I'm not a radio announcer.
So it's our version of that Alexa. Alexa, bring up the policy.
so you'll have to talk to me about that offline too, because I barely understood what you said. I mean, I understood what you said, but I have no idea how to do it, so we can talk about that too, okay? Voiceover.
If there are any things that we are going over that you think that would be beneficial.
Well, the one that would lend itself really well to that, I know I'm laughing about it, but is what Andrea's, the financial part.
How to read a finance statement.
Yeah, where we could, show the statement, the variance, the parts that she talked about, and then talk over it.
It'd be cool if you could do like, I forget, what's that guy who does all the you can learn math and everything else?
Like Khan Academy?
Like the Khan Academy.
Okay, well, I'll save that for another time. We'll move on. Are we done with this?
I don't
Done?
think we can afford
Okay,
it.
good.
The technology's easy enough.
All
No, I
right,
might mute my voice.
Okay.
so let's go on to new business, please. So we put the minutes of the July meeting here because who was
Because somebody
absent? Tom
wasn't there, yeah.
and George were absent. So if I could have a motion for that, please?
I move to accept the minutes as presented.
Second. Okay, we better have any discussion? We better have a roll call.
Katsinas,
Abstain.
Farkapezi,
Aye.
Ketman,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Caldwell,
Abstain.
Linstow,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, Andrea.
Okay. So our financial statements are a special kind of financial statements this time around because they are year-end,
Page 33.
age 33.
Thank you.
So
Getting there.
We have finished the year a little under budget, which is good, to the tune of 200, I saw it on here before. This is 290,000 or 4.5% below the budgeted amount of 6,367,059. And I know that we do try to budget for everything realistic, not every contingency in the world, but Ryan and his staff deserve accolades on 2 points, 1 for budgeting well, and 2 for staying within the budget. So, good job, Ryan, and everybody working at the library.
Thank you.
Yay. Does he get a trophy for that too?
Yes, but it doesn't have a pig
No,
on it.
no pig on it.
So if you look at the variance report, we can see the things that we were over, other professionals over by 5,300. And this is not pointing the finger of blame of everything, because we just noted we're under budget overall. The Sierra migration, which I think there were some unplanned expenses in there. Printing, not very much. Snow removal, most of that was salting.
Right.
And other things are very small, so I say good job.
So I have one question, and it's a small question.
Sure.
A large portion of the printing budget is those 2,500 tote bags for resale, which I assume we're going to eventually make money on. How are we doing in the making money on category?
On tote bags?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest, because I think, Helen, Jan, when did the tote bags?
More of a
come?
break-even thing.
Okay.
We didn't wanna, we make maybe
We're not making a
50 cent.
profit?
No, not really.
Yeah, because the tote bag, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more of a, it's almost more of a service thing too, and a PR thing. So people get the tote bag, it's got the logo on it, and people want the tote bag, so they,
So we're recouping our costs. How much is
So
a
it was
tote
never
bag?
the intention to profit.
Okay.
$3.
Oh, I want one.
Two for $5.
Oh,
Two for $5.
I'll buy one too.
We should all.
2 for $5.
2 for $5, okay, how
We
much?
have 2 styles, the big one and
The big one?
there's a big one,
Oh,
big
big,
blue
I
one, and a
think so.
smaller green one. I have one of each. They're very convenient, and you use them for different
You've
things.
got 4 kids, you should have 4.
I have 2 of the older black ones.
He has a
Anything else?
wardrobe of totes.
Moving on. Moving on, so,
where are we?
okay, now is this where I'm gonna talk about the balance sheet and the
No,
letter?
no,
that's
we're gonna
committee
do
of
that
the
at
whole?
committee of the whole,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Let me just make sure.
That's all I have.
then that's all I have to say, good job. That's our, now, I do wanna say one more thing, sorry. So these are cash basis, like a modified cash basis, so that reports all of the cash received and all the cash we paid. So the June 30th statements also get audited by our auditors, which this is our last time around with the auditors. But when we get the final statements sometime in October, they're going to be different. There'll be a few adjustments made that have to do with accounting, but the rest of it is basically switching from this cash method of accounting to the accrual. And when you hear the word accrual, don't get scared. It may, basically think occurred. So let's say you go to the dentist and he hasn't sent you your bill, whether or not you receive it or not, but it's not paid. It occurred, you owe it. So when you hear the word accrual, switch it with occurred.
Occurred.
And so it's reporting what actually occurred. And what's not on this statement are the money we owe the banks for our bonds, the assets that we hold, which are, the building and the books are not on these statements. But when we get them in October, all of that will be on our statements.
Nice.
Ann?
Yeah, I just have a question. Over here it says HR consulting, what is that?
So we had our HR, we have one HR associate, and that individual left us, and so she was able to work, basically she relocated due to her husband getting reassigned or taking a job, so she was able to consult with us remotely. So we paid her
Okay.
out of that consulting fund for that.
Oh,
So we
okay.
stopped paying her salary. She was a consultant until Ryan found her
Job was
replacement.
filled.
Correct.
Was
Okay.
there any training?
And there was a training component, yeah, there's overlap, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to make a
I-
motion?
I move that we accept the June 30th year-end statements as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
I would like to have a voice vote just because it's the year-end.
Oh, okay,
Roll call?
yeah.
I'm sorry, roll call vote.
Sutton?
Aye.
Caldwell? Katsinis?
Aye.
Parker-Peasy?
Aye.
Kettman?
Aye.
Linsdow?
Aye.
Beckwith?
Aye.
That carries.
Okay. IPLAR's on page 97.
Mm-hmm.
Through all that little.
Yeah.
Any questions about IPLAR? So this is once again, that stands for Illinois Public Library Annual Report.
Right. I did have one question on page 112.
Sure.
Down at the very bottom, where did your library apply directly for E-rate discounts? And you said no. And why was that a library board? Could you explain that piece right there?
Yeah, because there are certain requirements with the E-rate program that I'm trying to think what policy it is that conflict directly with board policy. I mean, that's what it says. I'm not really answering your question. I'm trying to think what the policy is. But basically, there's certain requirements that if we were to pursue the funding, it just doesn't mesh with our policy. I think it has something to do with filtering and.
I can speak
okay.
to some
George, you-
degree, yeah.
Okay.
The E-rate program provides a much more limited version of internet than you would be able to find commercially. It is designed primarily for schools and is filtered heavily. Part of our mission as a library is to have information open and available.
Got it.
A filtered internet service
Not
doesn't
so
work
much.
with that
Got it.
mission.
Okay, that explains. Good explanation, thank you. I just wondered why we weren't going to take advantage of some cost saving.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, anyone else have any other questions? Who would like to make a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Should we have a roll call? Yes. Let's have a roll
Probably.
call for this.
Voice vote.
Caldwell?
Aye.
Katsinis?
Aye.
Sutton?
Aye.
Parker-Peasy?
Aye.
Linsdow?
Aye.
Kettman?
Aye.
Beckwith?
Aye.
That carries.
Okay, so items for September, please. Or for committee of the whole too, either one.
Well, the art advisory, we're gonna talk about that, committee of the whole.
Art advisory purpose.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay.
What else?
The balance sheet and accountant's letter, financial statements.
Got that? Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Well, wait, I'm sorry, balance sheet? I have
That's
it
what,
wrong.
I had mentioned balance sheet would be next, and I think George had
Got
wanted the
it.
accountant's letter on there.
Okay.
I'll make CPAs out of you guys.
Right,
I don't think
that'll
that's gonna
happen.
happen.
Anybody else?
100 more meetings.
Oh, true.
No, nothing else?
Okay.
Anyone want to speak in public forum? Let's see, here, I just want to pass this around. This is the late, is everyone getting this? I can never remember. Am I the only one getting this? ILA reporter?
We're now
I
the
think I
only-
got
it.
We used to all
I
get
don't
it.
get it.
Okay.
Some people still may
It
be
looks
getting it,
familiar, I
but
might be getting it.
Okay, so this is the latest issue of ILA Reporter, and it has a couple of interesting things in it. One are the remarks of the ILA director, Robert Doyle, who just retired. He got an award at ALA, and it's his speech, and it's very, he has some really inspirational things to say about the First Amendment and its relationship to libraries, so that's something to look for. There are two articles in here on fandoms and fandom programming in libraries, which were also very interesting. And there's an interview with Illinois author Mary Kubica, if anyone's a fan. And Carla Hayden, who is the Librarian of Congress, the first librarian to be the Librarian of Congress in many years. And she interviewed 3 directors of urban libraries, while she was at ALA, San Francisco, Chicago, and New York City. And they have very interesting remarks, things to say about challenges facing today's urban libraries. So I'll pass that around. Are there more of these?
We do have some.
We might
yeah,
have some
they
extras
might
in the
have-
box.
Yeah. If not now, we
Take
will
that,
have more.
yeah.
Okay, anyone else want to make an announcement of any kind?
I just have a question, I don't know if this is
Yeah,
the
go
point in
ahead.
time. Can you talk a little bit about the Jesse Oaks, that whole situation and what we're doing, what the board is expected to do for the bikes?
For Bikers for
Yeah,
Books.
Bikers for Books. What's typical of
I think
us?
we'd love for you to come out and, if you're available that day, to come out and participate. If you wanted to take it to the next level and volunteer, that would be
Okay.
welcoming as well. So that's the expectation. In terms of volunteering, what would that mean?
Yeah.
It might mean helping out at the registration table or helping with the raffle, organize the raffle baskets, that type of thing.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun.
If you want to do that,
You
Just
can
let me
contact
know?
me
Okay.
and I'll connect you probably with Laura Stone, who's our volunteer
Okay.
coordinator, and she was
Okay.
helping allocate responsibilities,
All
jobs.
right.
So yeah,
Make
please
sure
do.
you get your biker's wardrobe.
Yeah, it's
my leathers, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
I can tell what I did last year.
yeah, please.
So
Yeah.
I was a volunteer last year and I got there early when they told me to get there. And so there's a lot of activity in the beginning because the bikers are all showing up and we're passing out T-shirts or
Okay.
helping people register. And then they all leave and then they're gone for a long time. So it was at Fat Man's and I live just a mile from Fat Man's. So I went home and then came back later. And then there were people buying raffle tickets, so taking a lot of money in for raffle tickets, and that was like what I did. And then when people stopped buying tickets, I think Joe and I enjoyed the music a little bit.
Well, I think we were helping with the raffle items too, remember, sort of passing them around and.
Well, I didn't do that.
I did that, yeah. And also I was with Ryan here at the library, which was one of the,
Sites for them to
does
come
everybody
by,
know
yeah.
how these rides work?
I don't
Okay.
understand it at all.
Maybe you can explain it better
Outside
than
of
I
the
do.
wearing of the leather. I don't.
Yeah, long story short, basically the idea is all these bikers take off and they stop at different locations. And last year, the way we did it, they went to the different locations and they got extra raffle tickets that they could use for the baskets. So it's just it's a motorcycle ride. Enjoy the day, ride with a group of
Couple
people.
different stops.
Right, so
Yeah.
they
along the
they
way.
register and then they go on this ride that's a predetermined route, picking up these raffle tickets at every location. So that's another job. I don't know if Laura needs
Yeah,
people to
there
do
might
that,
be a
but
need for
that's
that,
another
sure.
job, is to be at a location to hand out whatever
Oh,
they're
I
supposed to
see.
get when they
Okay.
arrive there. So I was with Ryan here at the library. It was fun.
How many people participate in the bike ride?
I think last year we were like 25,
Okay.
so we're hoping to
Oh.
grow it.
We're hoping for 50 this year.
Yeah, so and it's fun. There'll be a little bit of work, but then you'll get a chance to enjoy yourself and just listen to some good music, have a bite
Yeah,
to eat,
Jesse
have a
Oaks,
beverage
right?
if you want.
Yeah,
So.
I was leaving the library the day that they were bringing the motorcycle, that's on display by the Cirque desk, and Brian Mimi was waiting for them to arrive, and he had lots of progress about how, differently and more
He wants to do.
bigger, better, bolder
Uh-huh.
Bikers for Books this year, so he was very excited about it. It was really
Good.
fun to hear it.
Okay,
There's
thanks.
a map on our website, on our
Oh, there is.
support, and it's a map that shows you on Google Maps where
Where it goes.
66 miles.
Oh,
Bolo,
really?
Bolo Auto Museum, kickstand up in Camp Lake.
Wow.
Yeah, they
the
really
Welt Memorial,
travel.
And then back here.
Mhm.
66 miles. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right.
Anything
It's
else?
August
One
27th,
other
right?
thing, not related to Bikers for
Please.
Books, but a reminder for anyone who doesn't know or has forgotten, Monday is the first solar eclipse to be visible
course.
in this part of the United States in quite a while. Just a little ways south, and you can see it completely, or here it's about 90% or so totality.
Mhm. So,
Make
I've
sure
got
you
my
get the right
glasses in the
kind of
car.
glasses.
wish I
My
had.
sister did
Lowe's
research
sells them.
into this, and
Who does?
she
Lowe's.
found out the right kind of glasses are available at Walmart, and they were less than $1. And I got one in my car.
Recently?
Really?
Yeah,
Because
she bought them last
What
year.
are the right kind?
You have to ensure
They're
that you
sold
buy
out.
buy
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
glasses that are properly certified.
Right.
Unfortunately, there have been a number of counterfeit.
Right, that's what I've been hearing about lately.
NASA has a website devoted to it, take a look,
Actually, we
Don't
have
we have something on our
We do.
website? Because I was reading that today.
We have
yeah.
some social media posts with the whole list, and other
Right.
libraries are reposting it, so
And
it's
how you
really.
can see it actually.
But we're not
Look
having
through a
any
calendar.
events or nothing sponsored.
Actually, the more
I'm gonna
interesting
be at
thing,
school, so.
if you look at any of those trees outside, the shadows cast by the spaces between the leaves form pinhole cameras.
Right.
And you can see an image of the eclipse on the ground in the shadows of the trees.
That's what it
Oh,
says
nice.
on the NASA, yeah, there's all these different ways you can actually see the shadows, through a colander, through all these, it's wild. yeah.
Is it at 1
I want
o'clock?
the glasses, 1:20, I think, 1:10
I'm gonna
here.
close my library and go out.
Through a colander?
Yeah, well, you
Anything
can
that
look
has
at
a small hole.
hole, yeah,
I will be in Carbondale.
a pinhole.
So
You're
you
gonna be
just
down
look
there?
through the colander?
No, you can't look up,
No,
no,
no, no,
the
don't look
light
up.
comes
You
through the
look down.
calendar and you can watch,
Oh.
you know,
If-
it's a shadow.
if you
Can
want
I
to
look
look
up
up.
with my fancy glasses?
Yes.
If you want to look
Yes,
up, you
fancy
you
glasses.
must either have eclipse glasses, which are a special Mylar coating,
Not more than 3 minutes.
or
You can't look
They'll
through them
burn
for
your
more
retina.
than 3 minutes.
or you can use welder's goggles.
Yeah, I saw that.
Provided they are, I think, number
Oh,
14
yeah,
welder's
I don't
goggles,
have
the darkest
welder's
welder's goggles you can
My
buy.
sister did not bring me welders.
So Lowe's or Walmart, you said, Helen? have the
Not
glasses, huh?
anymore.
No?
They're all sold out.
That's what I thought.
They may get some more though,
Rats.
possibly. I'm sure they're trying.
Okay.
Something that's not on the upcoming calendar, which should have been, and just, and this, you'll get notice of this, but note it that the budget and appropriation hearing, the public hearing is 6:45 on the 19th
Oh, yeah.
Of September?
of September. And that didn't get on the upcoming
And it
calendar.
can't start till we have a quorum.
Yeah, we have to have a
And we have
quorum.
to serve the whole 15 minutes.
Right.
So-
I'm not gonna be here that night, I know already.
What's the 19th?
Yeah. it's-
So the idea being the hearing, it gives the public a chance
So I
to
hope
come
you
in
guys
and
also-
give feedback about the budget and appropriation ordinance.
Okay, so we're down a
Historically,
person, so
No,
we
I'm
still
gonna be
need a
in Denver, I
quorum.
know. Yeah,
that night,
Just make
okay.
sure everybody else show
So
up.
that's September 19th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be here.
cool. All right, great. All right, anyone else have anything? Who would like to move to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Wait,
All those in
before I
favor?
can even say-
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Happy to do that.
Okay. 7:44.
Is it all right if I take this home and read it and bring it back?